All right, let's get into it. We are about to unpack some of the wildest rumors I have heard in a long, long time about what could be the next massive Avengers movie. We're talking about a film potentially called Avengers Doomsday. And based on what's been floating around online, these theories are pointing to a movie that is trying to be bigger, bolder, and frankly, way more dangerous than anything Marvel has ever done before. So let's dive into what could seriously be a game-changing story for the entire MCU.
You know, this has been the question on everyone's mind since Thanos snapped his fingers. I mean, after 10 years of buildup that ended with half of all life just vanishing? How do you even begin to raise the stakes? Well, according to these rumors, the answer isn't just a new bad guy who's, stronger than the last one. No. It's about breaking the entire multiverse and forcing all of us to question everything we thought we knew about our heroes and their biggest wins.
Okay, so this quote, this one line is what makes these rumors absolutely explosive. This isn't just a spoiler, it's a statement. The theory is that the movie doesn't ease you in. There's no slow build. It just opens with a punch to the gut, an event that sets this terrifying tone right from the first minute. It's absolutely insane.
And yeah, this opening isn't just about shock value. It's about establishing right away that the rules have completely changed. The threat isn't to one city, it's not even to one planet, it's to entire realities that we know and love. The message is just crystal clear. Nowhere is safe, no one is safe, not even in the universes that basically invented the modern superhero movie.
I want you to really think about the weight of that for a second. We're not just talking about the death of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. We're talking about the complete and total erasure of his entire world. The world so many of us fell in love with back in 2002, the one that proved what these movies could be. It's such a brutal way to start, and it tells you that all that nostalgic comfort of the multiverse, yeah, that's over. It's a battlefield now.
So, if a Spider-Man that we all love and his entire reality are just gone, the big question is, who did it? Some new cosmic bad guy? A classic villain we haven't met yet? Well, according to these theories, the answer is so much more complicated and, honestly, way more devastating. The killers are supposedly heroes themselves.
The rumor says that Spider-Man's last fight isn't against some giant monster. It's against a team that fans have been waiting years to see in the MCU. This is where that whole hero versus hero idea gets twisted into its darkest possible form. We're not talking about a misunderstanding here. We're talking about an execution.
Yep, the X-Men. The rumor is crazy specific too, suggesting a team with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. But they're not acting like heroes. They're acting like predators. There's even a shot described of Cyclops just unleashing a full final optic blast on Spider-Man. Can you even imagine that? It's just this bleak, horrifying image of heroes being forced to kill other heroes just to survive.
But hold on, why would the X-Men do this? Did they just turn evil? Well, not exactly. The theory says they aren't the masterminds here. They're just soldiers, maybe even pawns in a much bigger, much scarier cosmic war. And that war is being orchestrated by one of Marvel's absolute greatest villains.
And this is where Dr. Doom comes in. But his rumored backstory here is actually kind of tragic. He's not just a power-hungry bad guy. He was supposedly the first person to discover these incursions, which is a comic book thing where universes literally start crashing into each other. He tried to be the hero. He tried to stop it, but he failed, and he lost everything, including his entire world. So his new philosophy is basically, if you can't stop the apocalypse, then you control it.
And his endgame? It's not just destruction. Oh no, he's clearing the board. For you comic fans, this is heading straight for God Emperor Doom. He's speeding up the end of everything so he can use all that power to create one single patchwork reality from the ashes, with himself on the throne, of course. He's not just ending the multiverse to rule it, he's ending it to build a new one.
So what kicked this whole mess off in the first place? A universe-ending catastrophe like this has to have a starting point, right? A moment where it all went wrong. And according to this theory, the blame isn't on a villain, it's on the Avengers. This whole nightmare was apparently an accident, a consequence of their greatest victory.
Okay, so get ready because this is probably the most controversial part of this whole thing. The idea is that Captain America's choice to go back and live his life with Peggy Carter, that beautiful, perfect ending to a story, that was the act that broke time. That one choice created the first crack, the first incursion that's now spiraling into total collapse. And because of that, Dr. Doom isn't just some random threat. He is specifically hunting the man he blames for the death of his world, Captain America.
So if we pull back for a second, if any of this is even close to being true, this isn't just another movie. This is a monumental gamble for Marvel Studios.
After building this incredible universe on heroism, this story would basically ruin its most emotional goodbye. It feels like they're trying to recapture that Infinity Saga magic, but man, this is an incredibly risky way to do it.
The people discussing these rumors frame this as a very deliberate message from the studio. After a while where some of us have felt the stakes were getting a little low, this would be Marvel's way of showing they can still deliver something that shatters the universe. It's a clear shot at one-upping Infinity War by changing the threat from just loss to the complete annihilation of worlds we know.
But this is a massive double-edged sword. It could be epic for hardcore fans for sure. But how does a casual moviegoer react to seeing a Spider-Man they love killed by the X-Men in the first 5 minutes? And maybe more importantly, if you blame Captain America's happy ending for destroying the multiverse, doesn't that kind of ruin the emotional punch of Endgame? It's a huge, huge risk.
And at the end of the day, that's what this all seems to be. This rumored story is more than just a plot. It's a strategy. As the source says over and over, this is Marvel swinging for the fences. They'd be betting everything on a story that's complicated, maybe confusing, and definitely brutal, all just hoping to create another movie event that gets the entire world talking again. Of course, we have to remember, these are all just fascinating, totally unconfirmed rumors right now. The real movie could be completely different. But these ideas, they force us to ask a really big question about where these blockbuster stories are headed. In this constant need to get bigger and bigger, do you eventually risk destroying the very things the audience fell in love with in the first place? And whether that's a risk worth taking, well, that's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?